All right. This is move zeros, LeetCode JavaScript. So they're asking to take an input array like this, and in place, without making a copy of the array, move all the zeros to the back of the array. So you have to do this in place. So the way this is done is essentially to loop through and check to see if the number in the array is not a 0. If it is not a 0, you place it towards the start of the array. And then at the end here, what you want to do is you want to take the other numbers that are not changed at the back end of the array and change them into zeros. So let's write some code and then walk through it. So first, you need to create an index. This is essentially a marker to know where to place your non-zero numbers. All right. Then we're going to write a for loop. So loop through the array. Let's fix this. Check to see if the current value is 0, or actually is not 0. So what we're doing here is we're setting the what we're doing here is we're taking the number in the array and we're moving it to this index value right here. So as we go through, this index placeholder is going to count up because we're obviously counting it right here. So as this goes through and it finds non-zero numbers, we just rewrite the array. So right now, if we console log this, let's hit run code. So you can see what this did right here. There's no zeros in this, right? We need to put the zeros at the end, but we have these duplicates. So, and the input for that was this. So let's grab that as the input. So what this does right here, let's label this so it makes sense. What this does right here is goes through and essentially resets these values right here. Because the first loop, num's index is 0, so we reset this value to 1 because num's I wasn't 0. And so as the loop goes through, you basically are just rewriting the front end of the array, and you'll end up at the end of that operation having some duplicate numbers that need to be turned into zeros. So we'll write another for loop, and we'll set this to be index. And what we're doing here, let's console log this so we can see it nicely. What we're doing here is we're going, starting at the index value, we're just changing those remaining numbers into zeros. So let's make sure, do we have any other console logs left in here? No, I've commented out. So let's run this. Give it a second. There it goes. So you can see that it's 3 and 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're changing those into zeros because we start at index and we loop to here, change that to 0, then go to here, change that to 0. And that's because we have this nice index counter that we've been incrementing this whole time as that marker. All right, that's how you do that one. Go ahead and like and subscribe.